In a prior video, I discussed how Freudian thought has influenced our society in a tremendously negative way. It is highly deterministic, meaning that it restricts our freedom in the sense that it is always seeking to show how it is the unconscious, which you are purported to have no control over, that is determining your behavior. Deterministic psychology and its offshoots share its underlying belief that you have little, if any, control over your circumstances because of things out of your control. Gabor Mate, a famous addiction psychologist in Canada, who has become very popular of late, very famous, also believes in determinism. It doesn't surprise me that he is popular. This message of determinism fits the paradigm of thinking today, and he packages it very well. Yet, I'd like to propose to you that it is this paradigm, made popular by Freud, is highly damaging to society. I discussed that in a prior video. My teacher of blessed memory, Dr. Gerald Epstein, started his psychiatric career in this vein of thought. But through re-engaging with Western spirituality and studying under the great teacher Colette Abokar-Moscat, who had students traveling from all over the world to her house on a little side street in Jerusalem, he realized that this outlook is decidedly not consistent with the Hebraic worldview and restricts true healing. The biblical imperative is to insist on freedom in all aspects. One could even say that the main message of Hebraic Torah spirituality is that God has given you freedom. You just need to claim it. And you do that by achieving a life of balance while establishing a personal relationship to the divine. One, however, could also say the opposite, that anyone that tells you or suggests to you that you have no control over your situation is in fact placing a stumbling block before you. And by taking their advice, you've placed something or someone between you and God. And that is actually one definition of idolatry. I'm not suggesting that you abandon treatment with conventional therapies, but that you learn how to connect and integrate into your thinking that you do have control over your situation. My teacher spent his life teaching people techniques to reclaim their freedom. He wrote a book for clinicians called Studies in Non-Deterministic Psychology, and his magnum opus, Healing into Immortality, for a general audience on how to heal into freedom. Specifically, he taught the reintegration of mind and body by learning about how to access your will, memory, and imagination. I highly recommend this book if you wish to learn a biblically sound approach to healing both mentally and physically. The Hebraic worldview holds that the individual has control and responsibility over their life. We've been allowed to exercise our freedom and grow in self-awareness to better understand and direct our lives. This requires understanding what is blocking us from achieving our highest potential and striving to remove those obstacles. It's an inherently difficult but rewarding journey. As we work to remove our blocks and embrace freedom, we can experience improved mental and physical health. My teacher's approach was obviously non-deterministic, emphasizing the power of an individual to effect change in their life through self-exploration and awareness. He provides a path for individuals to deepen their understanding of who they are and how they can use that knowledge to direct their life in a positive direction. This approach is based on the belief that we have been given capacity for choice and free will by God, allowing each of us to make decisions that affect our lives. By embracing that, we have freedom. We can come to understand how our life can be directed by our choices, rather than believing that all is predetermined. We can learn to recognize the importance of making conscious, informed decisions and ways in which we can cultivate self-awareness through exercising will and imagination as tools for perception. This approach helps us to plumb the depths of our mind and identify any barriers or blocks impeding our progress and encourage us to take a proactive approach to working towards healing. In short, it encourages us to recognize that we have been given the gift of free will, and with it comes the capacity for making informed decisions that can lead us to greater health and wholeness. It is an empowering approach that helps us to understand our freedom and use it to direct our life in a positive direction.